Hey everybody, this is the 4E's podcast, and I am Shireen Clark, and we also have over there
BC in the place to be.
All right, BC, and tonight we have a special guest, and his name is Rasheen. So he's coming, and he's going to give us a little bit of the keys on tonight. BC, so tell us a little bit about what else we're going to do tonight.
Oh, well, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened in the city of Plainfield just recently. We actually went through several funerals that were held at our high school, and it was a big occurrence. A lot of people were out, and we're really going to just talk about trying to find ways that through music,
yeah, definitely so,
how we can try to save some souls out here and keep people from finding their way on the other side. So with that being stated, why don't we introduce our guest?
All right, so this is Rasheen, and Rasheen, he's from Plainfield, so let's give it up for that. Plainfielders, woo!
P-Funk.
Hello.
So he's going to tell us a bit about how he got started with the keys, and what inspired you to want to play the keyboard.
But before he does that, we got to talk about what this podcast is all about. So, Lady Shireen.
So, 4E's podcast, it stands for education,
Entertainment,
enlightenment,
and empowerment.
Yes, and that's the 4E's.
And that's what we're about. So with that, let's go right into our guest.
What's up? How y'all doing today? Y'all good?
We good. How are you?
I'm alright. I can't complain too much, Miss Shireen. How you doing, BC? You good over there?
Hey man, I'm over here chilling in the corner. It seems like I'm so far away from you guys, but I'm right here.
It's all right.
I got you.
We here. So where we want to go from here?
We want to just talk a little bit about, first and foremost, how did you get to even hear about, how did you meet me? Do you remember that? Let's start there.
All right. So back in the day, Plainfield had a lot of things you can do to keep the youth off the streets and out of trouble.
Wow.
Other than like me, I grew up in a church household.
Okay.
Yeah. What church family was that?
My grandfather and my grandmother actually was the pastor and bishop of Hill and Temple Church here in Plainfield.
Okay. See.
I grew up right there on Clinton Avenue.
Right on Clinton Avenue.
You know, we had basketball out there. We used to do everything out there. Like that's where I grew up. That's where I grew up pretty much around the church, and then Plainfield. That was my safe haven.
Awesome. All
right.
Is that how you picked up wanting to play the keyboard? Or?
Now that is a whole nother story in itself.
Okay.
My grandfather, the bishop, just passed away. God bless his soul. Just passed away in December. His story was he needed somebody to play for him. He was out preaching, and he needed somebody to play for him. And my uncles and them was acting crazy at the time, So he was like, God sent me somebody, and he sent to me literally after that prayer, a year later I was born.
Oh wow.
So So I think pretty much when you feel like you're destined to do something, God gave everybody a gift and a trade and a skill. You know what I'm saying? But it's on us to pull it out.
Use it, pull it out, and learn that we have gifts and talent.
Exactly.
That's right.
So that's what that in itself. That's where I feel like I evolved or came to, and I've been rocking ever since.
Awesome.
So you mean to tell me you got your bases right in the church?
You know what? I watch what's the name of the shows on VH1 all the time?
Where they are now?
Yeah, that and
Come on, where they are now. That's the one.
And everybody, a lot of musicians I hear say where they started from, and which to me, where music really come from was the church.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what was your music of choice? Because I know that you play a lot of instruments. You have something in front of you. What is that in front of you?
Oh, this is a keyboard. This is what I do. This is what I. In all actuality, you know me for a while, and You know me, when I say a while, I told him I was this short when I first met him.
Okay.
but he actually said I was shorter, so that's been a long time. And the keyboard was actually the last instrument I learned how to play.
Oh, wow.
Get the heck
Okay.
out of it. So where did you start? What instrument did you start?
I started playing drums first. I was playing drums at 5.
He was going to say the drums.
Yeah, that's.
Lady Shereen, why did you think he was going to say this?
Gotta start
I don't
somewhere.
know. It just seems like the guys
Seems like
really
got drumming? So he,
pick up
he,
the
can, he can play some air drum for us?
It started with the drums. Then I started playing lead guitar. My grandfather played lead guitar.
Okay.
Wow.
Then I started playing bass, and then I started picking up like saxophone a little bit here,
Okay,
violin
alright.
here, flute here.
So
different.
wow, you could play many instruments.
And
Can you sing too? Uh-oh, he went silent.
That's all right. Listen.
I don't know, he may be able to, because he went a little too silent. I think
But realistically, even if he can or he can't, because he didn't answer that, that's right. We're going to let him plead the fifth.
All right, so
the
this
reality is that his music speaks
for itself.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But it's always even better when they can sing when they're playing the keyboard.
Now,
That's always an awesome thing.
She got a good point.
See?
That point that's a great point.
So I don't know.
So-
maybe we're going to get some song with the kids.
Yeah,
With
some,
the kids
like a
maybe.
fake. Yeah, like I'm definitely. And the crazy thing is about it, people always rant and rave like, "Yo, you sound so great." And I'm a very humble individual.
And you said you were shy, so.
Yeah, and I act shy sometimes.
When? I don't know you to be shy.
I mean, it depends. It depends. It's a seesaw,
It's a seesaw, it goes up and down. So it depends on, I guess, who he's around,
Yes,
what you're doing, and, that
yeah.
brings out the shy card or the I can't card, so, well,
And it's not bad. Like as far as singing wise, my grandfather always say, you can sing, you just won't. So I always try to improvise and say, well, if I can't sing, if I can't do it vocally, maybe I'll play. So a lot of times in my mind, to myself, I say, and a lot of other musicians say to me, like, yo, you make that thing talk. You make that thing say what you wanted to say because I feel like I'm singing.
okay,
But I'm singing through.
awesome. Now, do you write as well? Do you write music?
Yes,
Songs?
I write songs. I've written a couple songs. I don't know if you remember the RT Funk band from Plainfield, Ronald Teller and them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I used to play. We had a group called Force of Attack
Okay,
a while back. I used to write a couple songs and I was the lead musician.
awesome.
Pretty much.
That's awesome.
That's what it's all about. So you said you got your start in the church, but when I actually came in contact with you, it was a program out there. You remember the name of that program? Because we were talking about it the other day in the gym.
It was the Safe Haven program.
The Safe Haven program. Can you talk a little bit about what the Safe Haven program did for you or what it did for the community at that time?
The Safe Haven program, actually, the title itself is self-explanatory. It was a safe haven for everybody. Everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean absolutely everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, they had a program where it started after school,
Yeah.
right after school until maybe 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Okay.
And then the younger kids, the younger grades, because they was doing from almost 4th grade all the way up to high school.
Okay.
Like, so it pretty much was a community thing. When I say community thing, not what, see, I don't like to get into politics because it almost took me to the
Somewhere else,
yeah.
right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Listen, on the
But-
4E podcast, we talk about nothing but positive. So
And I- and-
we're
and- and
going to help you along the way.
And it's very positive. I'm not knocking anybody political stance or where they at, but when you say community and bring things together like a safe haven program,
Yeah.
you really have to do that because they already say it takes a village
To raise a child. that's
to
right.
raise a child. So if it
That's
takes a
it.
village to raise a child, imagine what it takes to raise a community
Absolutely.
of children.
It takes a lot.
And the thing about that program, it was ran by a host of great mentors. Now, nowadays people say they say Trick love the kids and they here for the kids, but they really not. Some of them just here for the check,
Right.
and that they really not even getting nothing out of that, but just doing something to be doing something. But back then, BC, Sharon Brown, Mr. Christmas, Mr. Terry,
You know it?
John, like, and Kruma. It was like a host of people that actually cared for the kids.
So this program you're saying is not in action anymore?
Nah.
No.
Okay. So these are the programs that we have to bring back?
Yes, if
We have to bring
guaranteed.
stuff like this back into the community?
It was a targeted program at the time. Basically, what they mean is that anything that they got from confiscated goods, that money was poured back into the cities.
Okay.
And that allowed the cities to work on those targeted neighborhoods, because it was a targeted neighborhood. I don't know if you remember.
Definitely was.
It was a targeted neighborhood. It was right down in the 4th Ward in the city of Plainfield. And what that basically did is it allowed the students to come out and actually have a safe haven to
Okay.
participate in other things.
Okay.
And then what happened is in the summertime, it kicked off and it went even further. But I think because of your musical journey, that you got an opportunity to not only do any things in there, but also when you got to the high school. I saw that you participated in the band. Is
Yes,
that correct?
that's correct. I was actually, this goes back to my gift in when I started. I was playing at, like I said, 5 years old. Like they said, I came out rocking. I came out, had a pair of sticks and was ready to go. And no lessons. When I say God's given talent, no lessons.
No lessons.
No lessons.
That's talent.
I went to a bass class. I was like,
gifts, yeah.
I was like 14 years old. My grandfather paid. He's like, you do what you want. He was always with me, always pushing me to do what I had to do as far as
Okay.
music goes, because he knew that's what I do to reach. That's what I was doing to reach the people. And I had a bass class, and I went to bass class, and I paid. It was like $200 for the bass class, and I got in there. My bass was the top of the line. Ibanez bass
Okay.
at the time. I was playing a 5-string bass. The instructor had a 4-string bass that he got from Kmart, and you know, I got in there, and I was, like I said, being humble, and just I really wanted to learn the notes and how to
Okay.
finger and where it was this and what's this, instead of just using my ear all the time.
Wow.
So that's what I was born with. This I can,
The gift of ear.
I can take a song and or take a person singing and take it
Okay.
and go.
Yeah, that's
And I started playing and started doing what he was telling me to do. He was like, at the end of class, he was like, well, here's your $200. You don't need this class.
Oh, wow.
Like, you should be playing, you know, you play with anybody? I'm like, no, I'm, like I said, I'm like 14, like 13, 14. I'm like, no, I don't play with nobody. He's like, well, I got a band. Would you like to play with my band? I'm like, well, you're the bass player. I don't play bass like that. I just teach.
No way.
So, you know.
Did you actually at 14 go out and start playing with that band?
I played one gig with that band.
And that was it.
What, at the time, 14, me being
Go ahead, son.
me being a young African American at 14 with the gift, I could already play drums.
Okay.
I was already playing lead guitar, like,
Wow.
you know, I was already, you know, I was moving.
Okay.
They were rock stars, for real, for
Gotcha.
real.
For real,
Okay.
for real.
Like,
Okay.
what you see on TV, rock stars. That's the, and me being the pastor's, the preacher's grandchild, they already say preacher's kids, preacher's kids already got a,
Yeah.
you know, reputation by itself. And it ain't all preacher kids. They always make seem like the
Right,
preacher
right,
kids
right.
is the worst. Sometimes they right, sometimes they wrong.
Right.
And I'm the grandchild, so I had it both ways. But you know what it was it was almost like rebel. You know how when you rebel against something, because I felt like I was always being cooped up and made sure I was doing right, because the Safe Haven program was along.
Okay.
I had the program, I had church, and I had home. But
Right.
for me to be 40 years old now, I appreciate,
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying, because
Your
a lot of,
upbringing and,
exactly,
you know, because
of-
it taught you, you know, because I can attest to that, you know, because, well, I mean, when I was younger, my parents, you know, they were not in church when I was younger, but they were raised up in the church as well. But my grandmother, she took me to church, and that was it, you know, so whatever it was, you know, that God had, you know, for me, inside of me, it just clicked. And it was just, I was just there the whole time, you know, but I love the fact, you know, that village who, you know, that raised us. And so when I look back, you know, I am glad that I had the teaching. I am glad that I was raised up in the church that I attend. I'm still there now. So, you know, it's been amazing because it has helped me to become who I am today. You know, without that, I don't know where I would be. I mean, I can imagine where I would be, but so I am thankful and grateful. So I understand what you're saying, you know, and it's not easy, but, you know.
It's definitely not easy because, like, I've been around, I've been up and down the East Coast. You know, I was honored 2 years ago for the Middlesex Central Baptist Association.
Congratulations.
We're going to give it to you while